9th Asia International Multidisciplinary Conference. This is our 21st conference under Connecting Asia. And this is the session for AI-powered systematic literature reviews. My own advertisement, I'm Dr. Muhammad Imran Qureshi. I publish more than 250 research articles with 4 books now. And my citation count is more than 7,000. And if you want to learn about my research, you can use these links. These are important links to if you want to follow my research articles or any research which we conduct under the uh, uh, Connecting Asia and all this. And also we have a unique way of teaching or learning resources. We have Connecting Asia TV. This is another success for Connecting Asia. And we have more than 50,000 subscribers for this YouTube channel. And you will find many videos of myself and other people who are lecturing on writing research and conducting data analysis. So these are some famous research writing skills which are available on YouTube. So some content of today's workshop will be available online, and I will refer you to those content which you can view later on and complete your research work, and it will help you a lot. About Connecting Asia, a little brief. We have conducted more than 21 research conferences now, and our network has been grown of the authors and the presenter is more than 12,000 now. We publish during this past 10 years, we published more than 6,000 research articles in Scopus and ISI index journals. And we have more than 50,000 members on our research network. So if you want to be part of Connecting Asia, that is an opportunity where you can learn and collaborate and network with other researchers as well. And from the social responsibility side, the Connecting Asia is a social enterprise where we conduct event, we raise money, and we use that for scholarly activities, and especially to facilitate some of the researchers who have completed their PhD degrees under this assistance. And we have completed almost 44 PhD supporting by Connecting Asia. So this is another important milestone we are achieving, and we hope so we will continue in the same way in the near future. So welcome you all for 9th Asia International Multidisciplinary Conference. This is the event where we conduct multidisciplinary conference or research where the participants from different disciplines can present their work and discuss their ideas with different researchers, and that allow us to understand how research is getting multi and transdisciplinary. It's not possible for any researcher to conduct research within their domain anymore. Even though if you are from social sciences, if you are from English, if you are from maybe business sciences, but still you need to work with other researchers. For example, I'm working with, because I'm working more with operations management. So my work more likely to be intersect with computing most of the time and process engineering as well. So we need to do some multidisciplinary research. That is why this conference is valuable for those who are looking for opportunities in working multidisciplinary areas. Now let's continue the work for today's session. Very important one, AI-powered systematic literature reviews. I will give you some tools and techniques and the process through which you can quickly write a systematic literature review research article. I'm assuming that everybody is familiar with the content of a research article. Mainly, we have 4 different sections, but I will explain them later on as well. So I'll take you from the basics to the advanced level, but I'll try to keep it very simple for now. And if you have any advanced level question, you can ask me and I will help you to facilitate your work and any problem you are facing or any challenges you are trying to encounter now. So I will help you, but this session would be very basic. I'll try to start with the very fundamental concepts and we'll see how we can use AI and where these AI tools are being used in order to assess or assist our research work. Okay, so this is the main idea for today's session. The today's session is based on systematic literature reviews. Remember, with the emergence of these AI tools, if you are considering that research work is getting easier, I believe you are not on the right track. It is getting easier, but many people are publishing now. So you will face intense competition in terms of writing. It is not that the case you are writing with the AI and you can write it quick. Many other people can do that. Okay, so now if we are receiving, for example, last year, if we are receiving 1,000 research article per year, now we are receiving 10,000 and more than that. It means that this number has been increased drastically, and that is because of these AI tools that help us to analyze the information, process the data, analyze the data more easier. And that is where the competition starts. So it means that you need to one step ahead of your competition in order to publish your research article. And this is where I will help you and try to improve your work. And at the same time, we'll be using some AI tools to get your work done quickly. But before we move on, let's quickly understand what systematic literature review is and how it works and what are the main concepts. So systematic literature review is very simple. When we use a systematic approach or scientific investigation method for writing a literature review, we consider a research article as a data set. Okay, so we use quantitative approach or scientific methodology to write a literature review research articles. Okay, so the process would be same with the way you are writing any quantitative paper, and that makes your literature review systematic because you are using a very specific predefined and scientific methodology to search your literature, to analyze your information, and to conclude your presentation or conclude your findings. Okay, so all these are the steps are very systematic. That is why it is considered as systematic literature review. If I compare this with other sort of literature reviews that follow uh, a very different methodology, systematic literature review is more like we are using scientific methods in writing review papers. Okay, uh, we can do systematic or sorry, a simple literature review with working with a few research articles and try to extract some information from some article and giving reference. This is called a narrative review, where you bring research article to support your arguments. That is a narrative review. That is not systematic because it is not following any methodology. And we have researcher bias in that. So that's why systematic literature reviews are more important and more rigorous in terms of their approach. So this is a very simple explanation of systematic literature review. But why they are so important and what are the key characteristics of systematic literature reviews? The first thing you need to understand is uh, comprehensive search strategy. So you need to define, or I must say predefine, the search strategy, the literature you are going to search, the research article you are going to include in your review, and many other tasks which you are going to complete throughout this session. You need to predefine them and you need to follow the same methodology. The idea is if somebody else is following similar methodologies, it means that they will conclude or they will end up with the similar results. And it means that is the characteristics of any scientific research. It is reproducible or replicable. Okay, so that is why we define our search strategy very clearly. And then we need to discuss inclusion and exclusion criteria. Very often we use this key term, inclusion and exclusion. It means that what type of keyword, what type of search items would be included and what would be excluded in your research. I will go through them quickly later on. And then it is transparent and reproducible. It means that you can replicate the result in different finding and different settings, and you will find similar results. So that is reproducibility of any research, and that is the key characteristics of any scientific research. If it is not reproducible, it means that the result cannot be generalized. So that is where systematic literature reviews are very handy. They are reproducible. So data extraction methodologies and synthesis methodologies are following scientific methodology. Quality assessment is given in a very brief way, but uh, very specific at the same time. It means that you need to define the quality assessment criteria before we apply it and before we implement it. Don't worry, I will go through that quickly and I'll show you how you can do that. And finally, the most important feature of any systematic literature review is to remove or at least mitigate the biasness in your data and in your opinion. Most of the time, we are influenced by the information available, and we already have some clear mindset about some particular phenomenon or particular topic. Okay, so that create a researcher bias. The information should be collected in a scientific way and analyzed in a scientific way, and then you produce your result in a scientific way to minimize the biasness. That is where the systematic literature review will help you to improve the methodology, okay? Improve the process. So these are few characteristics of systematic literature review. Now, how we do that? Okay, I do understand systematic literature review is important and it gives us many benefits, but the process is very simple. We follow these four-step formula, and this is not just for systematic literature review. You can use this four-step formula for any scientific research, not just for systematic literature. Whenever you are writing any project, you're writing any research article, any dissertation, any thesis, these are the four steps which you need to follow. Okay, so this is not just for systematic literature review, but I will apply these four steps today just based on systematic literature review. So the first thing is conceptualization. The second step is search strategy or data collection strategy. Then we analyze data or we synthesize data in a systematic literature review. And finally, we report our result and present in a meaningful format. In simple way, the first step is to formulate any research question. Before you start working on any research, first thing is you need to develop a research question. Other than that, any research is meaningful. Means that you are trying to identify a question which is not being answered yet. Okay, so that is the main feature of conceptualization, and this is true for all research and thesis writing. Even if you are doing your PhD or if you are writing any research article, the fundamental law or the rule of research is you need to create a research question. Okay, there are no research article, no thesis without the research question. These are the fundamentals. We propose some solution to any problem, and then we collect data. That is your second step. We try to extract information. In this case, today we will be working on articles, research articles. So we collect data through different research articles, and then we analyze that data and we support our argument, whether our hypothesis or proposition is accepted or rejected. That is how any research needs to be conducted. Very simple. Okay, don't make research difficult. It's very simple. And some of our friends, they always like to make it more complicated. It's very simple, four-step. Just remember this. Whenever you are conducting your research, these four-step flow is very important for you. But these are the four steps we are using in today's systematic literature review as well. And I will take you through all of these steps. And most importantly, we have AI tools to do all these work for us, or at least assist us in creating a research question, in analyzing or collecting data. All these process can be done through the AI tool. Before this, I was used to work with different research articles, printing them and taking different notes, creating different tables. That was hell of a work. But now I think it's very easy. We can use AI tools to work with each of these steps. But I will quickly go through these steps in first session, and then we'll start with AI tools in the next session after the break. Okay, the first session is about understanding how we can use different steps for writing a research article, and then how we can use different AI tools for assisting in each of these steps. The first step is writing a research question. Now, this is where we can start with any AI tools. Starting with ChatGPT is fair enough because all of us, we are familiar with ChatGPT. And now I believe most of us, we use it for our work, okay? we like to admit it or not, but we all use it, okay? And most of the time, because the institutional policy, we try to hide that I'm using any AI tool. But yes, we do use, and we are using different AI tools. So these type of the tool like ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, DeepSeek, all these different tools are for general purpose. They are not specific for research, okay? They are not really good to get the results which we need, but they can be a very useful tool for starting or creating any research question. So we'll use these tools for first step, which is conceptualizing your research question. What I need from you here is after this, when we'll start working with these AI tools, I want you to specify your area of research. So if you know your area of research, you can continue working with using these AI tools, okay? So if you have any question during this session, please raise your hand and I will try to answer your question. So first step is conceptualization. We'll try to develop a research question. It is a multi-step process, research question development. First, you will create a very simple research question, and then we will refine that research question and try to identify the optimal number of research article which we can include to answer any research question. Okay, so that is the process we will follow today. Developing research question is our first step, conceptualization. So once you complete your conceptualization and you have developed your research question, the second step is we will start searching our literature. Now, we have our research question ready. It means that we are working with the standard keywords, okay? So once we have our research question ready, these are some steps which you need to follow. First thing is you need to define your keywords, very specific keywords which are related to your work, but we will extract them from your research question. So first step is developing research question. The second step would be extracting your keywords. Once you extract your keyword, then you need to define inclusion and exclusion criteria. Okay, we'll apply this criteria on Scopus website or Google Scholar also possible, but I'll try to work with the Scopus and Web of Sciences database today. And once you complete this process, you need to define inclusion and exclusion criteria. For example, if I'm interested in finding out a cure of a medicine or disease in a specific area or region, it means that my inclusion and exclusion criteria is very simple. I will include only that disease in my research and the area which I am searching, okay? And the rest of the areas and disease are excluded from my search. So this is a guideline for us. We use inclusion and exclusion criteria. Without the predefined inclusion and exclusion criteria, you cannot write any systematic literature reviews, okay? So you need to follow that process. Then the data sources, and finally, data sources means that the website which you are going to use to collect information or the research article. I will be using Scopus database for today's session. And then finally, once we apply all these criteria, the last stage is for second step, you need to extract those research articles. So means at stage one, conceptualization, I will end up with the one research question. And at stage two, the second step, I will end up with a few research articles in PDF files with me. Okay, so that is where I will start working to the next step. Okay, so once we have those PDF files uh, downloaded, the next step would be we will be working with synthesis. So this is where a lot of developments over the year has been done. We are using different AI tools for different methodologies for data analysis, especially in systematic literature review. We try to analyze data based on some themes. So those who are familiar with the qualitative research, they know how to develop thematic, search or thematic development in any research. So we'll do the same. We'll try to identify a few key themes in our research, and then we'll try to learn within the concepts of each themes, and then we finalize our a key thematic development. So the process here is little bit tricky, and we need different sort of tools. ChatGPT, Gemini, all these tools are not workable here. We need to work on some specific tools here. I will be using NotebookLM, Google AI Studio, SciSpace or Elicit, or maybe you can use similar set of any AI tools for helping you with this step. Okay, so this is step 2. I will be working with some different tools. So once you complete this step, but remember, this step is a little bit time taking and tricky. You need to define the methodology through which you are going to define or create your thematic or research cluster. There are many methods available and there are many different calculations. Before this, we were used to work with bibliometrics or a keyword co-occurrence tool, structured topic modeling tool. These are all tools available for extracting information from different research articles. Okay, so but now we have many different options available. I'll be giving you some of these options and help you to analyze this information. But obviously, once you learn, you can improvise always and you can improve it in many different ways. But I will help you with two different methods. The first one is keyword co-occurrence, and the second one is content analysis. Okay, so these two topics we will be working today in order to synthesize available information. Okay, clear? So this is step 3. So step 1, I will end up with one research question. Step 2, I will end up with a few PDF files. Step 3, I will end up with thematic development. Means that those 50 or 60 research article will be further divided into 2 or 3 different research clusters, and I will work within each cluster separately or within each theme separately. We can develop these themes with many different methods, but I will discuss a few methods today. Okay, and finally, we'll be looking at how we can report these results. That is also equally important. Now, when I say we need to report the results, obviously we need to conclude. And when we conclude any systematic literature review, it should present some theory. It should present some meaningful result which are applicable and generalizable in the future context, or in future researchers can use these type of findings. So these are the conclusion. And most of the time, I use visual or the graphical abstract to present my research. This is where I'll be using another tool which can be used to develop different visuals from my text, and that will help me to generate different infographics which are very helpful in my research. So remember, presentation is equally important. You cannot publish your research article if it is not being presented well. Presentation can, it can contain like different tables, graphical illustrations of your ideas. Writing is not just enough for a good research article. You need to learn how you can, present your ideas in the form of different tables and also in graphical illustration. I have seen many different research articles where researchers use workflow, maybe flowchart diagrams for presenting their ideas. That is really good idea to work with those. But there are a few tools which can help you to generate these visual effects in your research, and you can use them for your research purposes. But remember, the journals have announced their policy about AI. I will discuss this at the end of this session, and there are a few do's or don't do's which you need to follow when you are submitting any research article to good journal. You need to follow those policies. Simple for you, which can help everyone to understand what type of analysis we can use in our research, how to reference them, and which tools we cannot use in our research. I will help you with all these concepts. Okay, so these are a few very simple ideas. Work on, focus on data search strategy, work on step 3, synthesis, and finally, reporting review. The workflow of this session would be very simple. I'll try to cover as much as I can, but in 2 hours, I believe it's not possible to cover everything, but I'll try to make it quick, simple, and easy for everyone, and you can work with your research idea quickly. Okay, so the first step would be developing a research question. Then you have data extraction, literature synthesis, and review and reporting. So very simple 4-step formula, which I have already presented. So step 1 is conceptualization. Let's try to learn what are the different tools we are going to use for step 1. And step 1, we have these important considerations. So we are trying to develop our first research question, and I want you to start working with this. So first thing is we need to learn how to interact with any AI tool, which is a fundamentals of prompt engineering. This is the emerging topic. Everyone should learn it, no matter what type of research or what type of work you want your AI to do for you. You need to learn how to interact with these AI tools. This is called prompt engineering. So you need to write accurate prompts. Other than that, I think there is a possibility AI will give you maybe very generalized results or maybe false results. Okay, so we need to learn how we interact with AI tools, and I have developed one 4C method which can help you to understand how to develop an efficient prompt for any AI tool. I will show you that. But starting with that, you will start working with AI tools, especially ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, or DeepSeek. You can choose any one of them and you can start working your research question. I will help you with that. And later on, if you need, I can share a few predetermined prompts for you, which can help you to define your research question and identify your literature themes and all this. So I have maybe more than 30 or a prompt for a developing research question and 50 prompts for literature synthesis. So I can share that document with you later on. But first thing is we need to learn how to interact with AI tools. Second thing is we are trying to develop a research question. Once your research question is developed, obviously I cannot rely on AI to give me a research question and I admit that, okay, this is the research question I can use for my research. There is an obvious step which you need to take in order to confirm whether this research question is workable or not. That's very important, okay? Not just defining research question from AI is meaningful. Yes, it will give you something, but that idea, can we work with it or not? Common sense, yes, you will use that, but there are some methods through which we can identify whether the research question we are working with is accurate or not. If it is accurate, then we will move on. If it is not, then we will refine it. So that is the step number 3. We'll try to refine our research question, okay? And then once our research question is refined, there is a difference in quantitative and systematic literature review. In quantitative research, you might not need literature maybe findings. For example, if you define a research question and you find maybe 4 or 5 research articles related to that topic, it's good for a quantitative research because limited literature is available and you can continue collecting data. But when we are writing systematic literature review, you need to use that research article as a data point. It means that you need to identify a minimum number of acceptable research articles which you can include in your search. Okay, so that is where you need to use Goldilocks test. I will help you to apply these tests. Okay, so let's work for the first step. So can you use any AI tool? Any AI tool of your choice? You can use Gemini, you can use ChatGPT, you can use Copilot or DeepSeek, any tool. You have your devices and you know your area of interest. I want you to develop a research question. Ask your AI to develop a research question depending on your area of search, and please tell me what is your research question. So please try to use any AI tool. Okay, I hope everyone can see my screen now. So these are a few AI tools which we use to develop a research question. Okay, so the first one is ChatGPT. Second one is Gemini. These are very famous tools, but they are almost similar categories of AI tools. So it means that you can use any one of them. This is Copilot. If your organization is Microsoft based, you can use Copilot. This is the interface of Copilot, and then we have DeepSeek. All these tools almost have similar interface. Okay, so first thing I want you to ask this AI tool, give it your area of interest in which you want to conduct your research, and ask this AI tool to develop a research question for you. I'm giving you 5 minutes for this practice. And once you identify a research question, please let me know. I will help you to improve that research question, and we'll try to understand the fundamentals of prompt engineering as well. Okay, so please go on, continue working. And those who are attending online, once you identify your research question, I want you to write your prompt and final research question in the chat box. And please, everyone, scan this QR code for e-certificates. Fill up the information we need. Scan this code and fill up the information, and we'll send you e-certificate of the workshop. Okay, have you developed your research question? Okay, anyone want to share your research question? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, good morning. I used ChatGPT,
Okay.
and my research question is, what is the effect of structured role play activities on the development of turn-taking, active listening, and topic maintenance skills in ESL conversation classes?
Okay, and can you tell me what is the prompt you write for this?
Okay, I actually had 3 prompts, and then I just asked ChatGPT to refine it and refine it.
Okay.
And the very last one, I said,
Can you take us through the process, the 1, 2, 3?
oh, okay. All right, so the very first one, I asked ChatGPT to please create a refined research question on the field of English conversation for ESL students. And so the AI gave me this question: how do task-based conversational activities influence fluency and confidence in spoken English among intermediate ESL learners? But then I want to focus on something that I can do in the classroom. So I gave another prompt and I said, please refine this question considering what can be done in the classroom only. And so the AI gave me, how do task-based conversational activities implemented in the classroom impact the fluency and speaking confidence of intermediate ESL students? But then I thought, it's something that it's quite difficult to do in the classroom. So I said, maybe I would zero in more of what I can do in the classroom. And this is the last one. I said, create another research question that target conversational skills that can be developed in an English conversation classroom. And that's when AI said, what is the effect of structured role play activities on the development of turn-taking, active listening, and topic maintenance skills in ESL conversation classes? And I thought it's something that quite possible in the classroom to do the turn-taking, the active listening, and the topic maintenance skills.
Okay, perfect. Anyone else? Did you follow the same process? There is a fundamental mistake in this prompt, which I will help you to improve. That is what I wanted to learn from you, what type of prompt you write. Do you have? Yeah, please.
Sir, actually, I have a complete that prompt, and my article is in the mid of completion and almost completed. I'm writing on greenwashing. So my research question is, my study is aimed to analyze the relationship between ineffective sustainability communication the brands or organizations are doing, perceived greenwashing, and their effects on consumer behavior, purchase intention, trust, region, and skepticism. So initially I heard this concept. Then I use Gemini. What is the current trends or situations in greenwashing?
So the first step, this is what you need to follow. Whenever you are writing a research question or trying to generate a research question from any AI tool, you generate ideas, not direct research question, okay? Ask AI to suggest you some ideas, not one idea. If you write idea, the AI is so much dependent on your input, it will give you only one idea. If you write a few ideas, then it will think, okay, rethink, and give you a list of ideas which you can pick and choose, and then you can start refining the process. So can you redo it and start with the suggestions or maybe questions? It should be like not singular, okay? So you write it, research question, it will give you one idea. So the idea is to generate different ideas, select one of them, and then start this process. Please continue.
Yeah.
So you generated a few ideas.
Yeah. Then I asked Gemini, what are the recent publications on this topic? What are the current trends on greenwashing? So Gemini bring me some of the links. These are high impact publications and as well as well reputed magazines throughout the world. So
Okay, so you search the recent literature about that idea
Yeah, yeah.
in technical terms.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Then once I find that I have a very limited literature on this concept, especially and specifically from consumer intention and consumer behavior prospects. So then I come again to Gemini and ask, make it more clear for me. So Gemini created a draft or you can synopsis for this area. So finally, I just write that question by myself.
Okay,
So this is
perfect. This is a good method. Okay, so the idea is it is a multi-stage process, not single stage process. So AI tools are like the way to interact. Okay, so you need to interact with AI tools. The first thing is generate multiple ideas, not one idea. I'll show you that with my idea as well. So we'll develop a few ideas and pick one of them and then ask AI to develop a few research questions around that. And then we will move on with this step in 3 or 4 different stages. So let me show you how I can do that. Okay, let's use my favorite. I like Gemini a lot, so I use Google-based systems. So let's start with a very basic concept. I work mostly in supply chain management. So my core idea is to find out anything related to supply chain management. So I will start with a very basic idea, then I will improve that idea. So uh, I will write this prompt. Okay, so I gave it a complete prompt, suggest a few latest research ideas in supply chain management, research for writing a systematic literature review. Let's see. Okay, now you can see that AI is giving me different ideas, and I believe most of them, they are very interesting. We'll see how we can work with these ideas in second stage. So these are different key ideas. Whenever I'm selecting any idea for my research, I will try to look into the idea, whether it is too much familiar. If it is too much familiar, it means that it's so easy. Most of the people have already conducted research on that particular idea or the area. Okay. So we need to create a balance. We need to find out an area which is novel, means that not so much new. We will not find any related research article, and it should not be so much easy that tons of literature are already available on that particular area of research. That is for that this criteria is for systematic literature reviews or writing any review articles. If you are writing quantitative research article, then you will try to select an idea or choose an idea which is practical and more new. Okay, so in this case, let's say the role and impact of generative AI in enhancing supply chain resilience and decision making. That's relevant and it looks interesting because nowadays inclusion of AI, or especially generative AI in supply chain, have been emerged, and many organizations are already using this AI. And now I can ask AI, take option one and develop a few related research questions. So now I'm narrowing down my research and trying to identify a related research question. So it will give me a few research question, and you can select any one of them, and we can take that research question to next stage. Okay. Now this process, it may take some iterations. It might not be one step process. You may experience some, what I can say is, sometime you will select some article which are too difficult to carry on, and some article which are very easy to publish your research. So it means that in both cases we need to find a balance. This is where Goldilocks test will be applied. Okay, so to apply Goldilocks test, obviously we need to find out that specific research question. So first, I want you to specify your research question before we move on to the next stage. So choose any one of them and ask AI to refine that research question and bring your final research question. So you may need to ask AI a few questions before you finalize your research question. So I want you to finalize your research question, and then we'll start working with the Goldilocks test. We'll see whether this research question is workable or not. So please refine your research question. I'm also refining my research question. You can follow the same process, but it's very simple. Just ask a few questions before you finalize your research question. So start with a very general idea. From very general idea, you need to move on to specify it in terms of your area of interest, and then ask AI to generate a few questions. And when you believe that this is the research question I can work on, the next step will start. We'll see whether enough literature is available or not. But mainly, you are the driver of all these research process, because you need to tell AI which area you want to research on. Okay. Okay, now we have our research question. So first thing is fundamentals of prompt engineering. It means the way we interact with any AI tool. So this is not the way you are familiar with searching anything on internet. It's more like a conversation. So you need to ask questions and AI will help you to answer those questions. So these fundamental, I have a complete video and some prompts for you on how to create efficient prompt for writing research questions or writing research. This video is available on Connecting Asia TV. You can watch that video and try to master art of prompt engineering, art of interacting with any AI tool. That will help you in many ways, not just for the research, but in many other ways as well. So we have developed the research question and we try to refine the research question with the help of AI. Now it is our time to start working with the Goldilocks test. Now, Goldilocks test is simple. You need to choose a few keywords from your research question. Now, let me show you. My research question was, what are the current potential applications of generative AI for enhancing different dimensions of supply chain resilience? So, in my opinion, in my research question, there are two important keywords. One is generative AI or Gen AI, and the second one is supply chain resilience. These are two important keywords. So can you identify the main keywords of your research questions, the main keywords of your research question? Don't bring many uh, keywords. Focus on a few, maybe two or three main ideas, the concepts or the variables you are trying to measure in your research, okay? So identify a few keywords and then we will use the Scopus website to identify whether we have enough literature available or not, okay? So before we move on, I want you to identify your keywords, write them with you, and I will ask this question, what are your keywords and your research questions? So take some time, think about it. Keywords need to be standardized. It means that these keywords are universally acceptable. And if there are any synonyms of your keywords, please try to identify the synonyms also. For example, it's not synonym, but for example, generative AI is a complete keyword, but also Gen AI is another way of representing generative AI. So if you are in the similar situation, please identify all synonym or all possible option to display that particular keywords. Okay, so please take some time and list your keywords. Database for research. So you can use Web of Sciences or any other database. Google Scholar is not acceptable for systematic literature reviews. You always need to use a very standard databases like Web of Sciences, Scopus, PubMed, or any other databases. Okay, so first thing is we need to use this search document option. And if you have any keyword which have more than one words included in that. So you need to use inverted commas to make sure that system understand this as one keyword. So I am using inverted comma and then generative AI, then inverted comma. So it means that generative AI is one keyword. And if I have synonyms or different abbreviations for these keywords, I will use or. So it means that generative AI or Gen AI and supply chain resilience. This is the method of searching any literature on any established database, you need to use keywords and you need to use Boolean operators and or not to specify those keywords arrangement. So what this query is doing it, this query will bring generative AI or Gen AI and supply chain together. And it will search this from article title, abstracts, or keyword. If I want to change it, I can always change and make it different. But for me, I will be using article title, abstracts, and keywords because these are the most important metadata for any research article. So I will be using generative AI or Gen AI and supply chain resilience. This is what I'm going to search here. So once I search, at first initial search, I received 4 research article. Now my question is whether this is enough literature for writing a systematic literature review or not. This is very limited number of research articles. So we can't write any research article with the help of only 4 research articles, especially when this research article is systematic literature review. And now my Goldilocks test is clearly telling me that this uh, topic is not really good for writing a systematic literature review. Yes, it can be good for quantitative research or any qualitative research, but it is not a good idea to write a systematic literature review with this. So what I can do is I need to develop some alternative options. So what I'm trying to do is I'll just look at this. Maybe generative AI is not a good idea, but what about artificial intelligence, AI or artificial intelligence in supply chain resilience? So let's try to search this one. Now I received 182 research article. What do you think about this? This is a good or reasonable number for an initial search. Remember, the Goldilocks test, it is not a predefined criteria based on the number of article, but what I can suggest is uh, at initial search, you should have at least 200 research article. Then we can apply inclusion and exclusion criteria always to remove or to reduce the number of research article. But if your research articles are more than 1000 in any research or more than 2000, it means that there are many research articles available and it is quite difficult to write a systematic literature review for this type of research article or this type of research question, or maybe there is a high possibility the similar work has already been done. So the minimum number is 200, 150, 100, and maximum is 1000, 1200 at initial search. If your topic is not very much novel, but still you want to continue, 1200 is fair enough. You can continue with 1200 and I will show you how you can reduce this number to the minimum. Okay. So these are the steps for Goldilocks test. Can you refine your research question based on the Goldilocks test? If the research idea is workable, please continue working. If it is not workable, the next step is go back to AI and refine your research question and bring me something which is workable. Okay. So please refine your research question. Okay, done. Can we move on? So if I show you on slides, okay, if I show you on slides, you can see all these steps have been completed, and I believe you use Goldilocks test in order to refine your research question. And the tools we use is Gemini, maybe ChatGPT can be one of the options, Copilot, or similar set of AI tools. There are many, not just these two or three AI tools. You can use any one of them. They will give you almost similar functionalities. Don't worry. The people are usually discussing these tools are better than other tools. For us, for basic knowledge generation or basic idea generation, any tool will work. Okay, don't worry. You don't need to be so much particular about any tool. But I'm using all of them. Uh, I use Copilot for my office work, but I like to work with Google AI Studio and Google Tools. That's why I would recommend you to use Gemini. Gemini is powerful option for AI tools. Okay, so you can use any of these tools and you will end up with research question. Okay, so step one, now you have developed your research question, right? So once your research question is developed, now we are in step two, where we will try to extract data and try to refine our data set. That's very important. This is where we will use Prisma guidelines. Prisma is a technique which is published, and there are many options available in Prisma guidelines. And Prisma guidelines is a sequence of 27 different items which need to be reported in any systematic literature review. Okay, so if you are writing a research article, especially systematic literature review, and you are following Prisma guideline, it means that it is a preferred method of reporting systematic literature reviews and meta-analysis, and there are 27 different different components in any systematic literature review which you must need to report in your research article. And if you are writing an abstract using Prisma guideline, then there are 23 different items which you need to report. But to make it easy, you can watch that video. It's available on our YouTube channel. But to make it easy, I will quickly go through these steps, Prisma guideline, and we will use data extraction step two. Okay. So okay, let's consider this situation. I am in this topic, AI or artificial intelligence in supply chain resilience. I use these keywords and I extracted these 100 and I found these 182 research articles. Now, this is where you can refine your search. This is where you can use inclusion and exclusion criteria. You can filter based on the number of years published. You can filter based on the authors, subject area, document type. I will take only research article. I will remove conference paper, review papers, book chapters, and conference reviews. And there are many other options. You can choose journals. You can choose which stage this research article is, the keywords, which is also very important criteria. Most of the time when I have more than 1,000 research article, I will click on this keywords and I will extract all those keywords which are irrelevant. Okay, so if I click here, show all, it will give me a list of keywords and I can select which keyword I need to include in my search. Okay, so if I select any, let's say any keywords, I can just click here on this checkbox and I can select multiple keywords. For now, because I have a limited number of research articles, for me, this is fair enough to use all these keywords. But if you have like maybe 1,000 plus research article, you can restrict your search based on these keywords also. And this is also another way of identifying the standard keywords in your search. Okay, so once you are comfortable with that, you can select the countries or all these. So once you are comfortable with all these process, the source type, I'm going to use journals, not proceedings or books, and I will be taking language English, and then click here limit to. Okay. Now my keywords and my search query is being refined, and you can see that I have only 97 research articles now. But here is a trick: when you are reporting anything for systematic literature review, you need to report this query as well. So click on this advanced query and copy this content. Okay, so this is the content you need to report in your research article methodology tab. Okay, so this is actually telling me what exactly I have identified. So click on this advanced query and use this content to report in your paper template. I will give you paper template. If you are interested in writing any systematic literature review, I can share with you a template which you can use to write your research article based on the method which I'm just discussing. Okay, so these are a simple trick. So you can just copy this one. And now if I write this accurately, I use these keywords: AI, artificial intelligence, and supply chain resilience. And I limit my search to research articles only. This is inclusion. And in the case of exclusion, I will write here, if you look at this, I am limited to articles only. So review paper, conference paper, book chapters, all other formats of all research article have been excluded. Okay. So there are two things you need to report. One is included, what is included, and what is excluded. So from this query, I can write clearly in my literature methodology. I use these keywords and I'm taking only research articles, and I'm ignoring or excluding all conference paper, book chapters, books, reviews, everything is being excluded. Similarly, I can share that I use journal articles only, book chapters and other conference proceedings are being excluded. Okay, and only English language was considered. All other language research articles were excluded from the search. Okay, so this is the inclusion and exclusion criteria, very brief one. Okay, so once you are comfortable with all this criteria, the next step is you need to export this document. So click on this all, click on this export button, and we can export this in a CSV file. I need all this information. This is valuable information. And export this document. Now you have an Excel sheet of all these research article, 95 research article available. So I can click here and open this Excel sheet from here. Okay, so this is the list of my research articles, 97 research articles. Now, this list is an initial search of your literature. Now you need to do some quality assessment, and the quality assessment is simple. Just read the title and abstract of all these research articles. You have titles here, and this is the abstract of each article. So if you double click on this, you can read the whole abstract. Okay, so you can read and decide whether this research article fit in the scope of your research. So for example, if I read, this is literally a little bit manual work, but after this everything can be managed through AI. Okay, so you can read and assess the quality of the research article and identify the final list of research article which needs to be included in your research. Okay, now once I have these research article, the next step is to download these research articles. For downloading, I will be using these DOI numbers in this Excel sheet. I need to create downloadable links. Okay, I can do that simply. Just copy this DOI number and paste it in your browser. It will give you the link to that article. Okay, just use this and download your research article. It's the easiest way. You can also create downloadable link, that's fine, but this is the most easiest way of doing it. Just copy this, type it in your browser, and obviously, most of the articles are restricted. If you have your institutional repository, you can extract those research article from your institutional repository or institutional login. Okay, so download all these research articles. All these 97 research articles needs to be downloaded. And once you have these 97 research article, we will move to the next step, which is working with this data set and using different AI tools. So I want you to create this sheet, quickly practice this, export this sheet, and download a few research article based on this sheet. Okay, so I have downloaded a few research article. Obviously, it will take some time and you can download that later on. So this step, now step two, if you look at the step two, we define keywords, we developed a search query, we use Prisma guidelines. For those who are interested in detailed Prisma guideline, I already have one video on our YouTube channel, but obviously that will take some time. I can't cover everything in this time. Sorry for that. But you must need to learn, sorry, Prisma guidelines or Prisma workflow in order to work in any systematic literature reviews. So once we follow that criteria, which is inclusion and exclusion criteria, after the inclusion and exclusion criteria, you need to extract the records, which I extracted from Scopus, and then you need to download the PDF files. This is all done. In step two, at the end of the step two, you should be able to uh, use Scopus and Web of Sciences database in order to download the research article, and you will end up with a few PDF files of research articles. You can also use Microsoft Excel, which we are using, and some other AI tools. PowerDrill is one of them, but I'm not using it anymore. That will not give you any added advantage. Now, the next step, which is most important and where all the work will be done by AI. Now, this is about working with the literature, the downloaded research article. But before move to this point, I will take you through a few AI tools and I will take you through the functionalities of those AI tools. And then we will see how we can use those AI tools for our writing systematic literature review. So the tools which I'm going to use are SciSpace, one of my favorite. We use this a lot. Yes, SciSpace is an AI tool which we can use it is meant for the research purposes only. At this stage, stage three, you cannot use any general purpose of AI tool, for example, ChatGPT or Gemini or uh, DeepSeek and all Copilot. All these type of AI tools are not workable at this stage. Okay, so we need some specific tools which have been developed for research purposes only. Mainly all those AI tools which we use for research purposes, they are almost similar in category. Might be some functionalities are different, so you can work with any one of them. All of them will work, but the first one is SciSpace. SciSpace is a very simple platform. You can add your search query or you can ask any question. Okay, so if I copy this research question which I have developed from Gemini, and I will use this for, okay, for size space. You can use these different features: standard, high quality, and deep review. I will show you one by one. Standard is a very simple option, but if you want to use different options, you need to work with the uh, extended plan. And we have some discounts for this. I can share the discount code if you are familiar with the size space and you want to work with the size space. You can get 40% off, but I'm sure we don't need these type of tools anymore to buy them. I will show you another way of working with similar feature in different tools. But let's see these features first. So I will just ask a question, and size space will work and extract literature. The difference between ChatGPT, Gemini, and all these tools is these tools, which are meant for research purposes, they are using a database we call it Semantic Scholar. And Semantic Scholar is the largest repository of all the research articles. It means that all research articles are available in Semantic Scholar, which is being displayed here. Okay. So make sure you are using any tool which uses any established database for literature search. Okay, if you are using Gemini, many websites or all information, other information available will also be included. But in this case, you are just searching the literature review or research articles only. So SciSpace will give you a summary of its finding and the table with the link of those research articles, PDF files, and a complete detailed table for finding. And you can add anything related to your research work. For example, if I'm interested in results, so I can just click on results and it will create another column for me. And these are the research articles, and they are authentic research articles, and you can just click on these research article and it will give you the complete link and the complete description of that research article. You can also work on each research article separately. So if you are searching literature, rather than utilizing Google Scholar, you can use this approach, and it is very clear and it gives you related research articles as well. Okay, so this is very simple functionality of SciSpace. You can create libraries. Obviously, you can upload different data files and work with this SciSpace. I will show you that later on as well. You can chat with any PDF file. It means that upload one PDF file and learn from that PDF file. Anything you want to do that. AI writing is if you want to generate content based on AI, that is prohibited. You cannot use this AI in any research article. Remember, you cannot generate content from AI, and journals are not accepting it anymore. Okay, so the whole content generated from AI is not acceptable. But still, if you want to find some topic, you can do that. And this is another paraphrasing tool. If you want to paraphrase some content, you can use this and write your content, and it will automatically paraphrase it and try to make it humanized as well. It means that the AI detection will be less. But when I tried it, and I tried turn it into check the AI detection, it still detects the AI, even though it is paraphrased by this AI tools, but they claim that it will show no AI content, but in my opinion, it detects and it is 100% detection. So for some paraphrasing, you can use it, but the whole article is not possible. Okay, so you can use all these different features. You can create PDF to videos, abstract videos, and there are many other options available. This one, data extraction, you can upload PDF files and it will extract data. I will work on this one in a while. And this is another feature where you can use this uh, type your content here or paste your content, and it will tell you whether this content is being developed with the AI or not. Okay. And similarly, if you work here, if you click here, okay, this feature might not be working here, but this is where you have different formats of research article. So you can use this to format your research article in any general format. Okay, now let's work. This tool, we will be using this tool to upload our PDF file and extract information in order to understand about our literature. So I'm going to upload some file. You can upload 10 file at once. Okay. I can create a collection. I created a folder, AI and supply chain resilience. So upload these files to this collection now. Okay, once you upload these files, it will automatically extract the information, create tables from your data files or research articles. If you want to use some other columns, you can do that. That gives you a very clear idea of the research article, and we can use this information in our next step in literature synthesis. But I will show you how we can use that, and we'll be using a very particular tool for working with this type of information, which is NotebookLM, which I'll show you in a while. Okay, so this is another AI tool, SciSpace, a very simple AI tool which can help you with your research. Similarly, we have a similar type of tool which is named as Elicit. Elicit is also similar sort of research AI tool. Okay, you can see the feature and all the interface is similar to SciSpace. So I will not go into the details of this Elicit, but you can take note of this website. Elicit is also similarly a very powerful tool. And then if you are working with the data analytics, especially those who are working with the data analytics, Julius is one of the famous data analytics tool, which you can use for analyzing larger data sets. Okay, but obviously this is not the topic for today. We will work any other time on Julius, but it is very powerful and you can run any sort of analysis. You don't need SPSS or any other software for data analysis now. You can use this Julius.ai. Okay, so these are a few tools which we can use. There are many. I will give you a list of these tools which you can use for literature synthesis. Now, let's go back to our workflow. And sorry, before we move on, I will show you another tool which I might think is one of the most powerful tools of any AI purposes. If you are working for systematic literature review or any type of research, you can use NotebookLM. It's a very powerful tool. I'm using its pro version, but obviously you can use it in a different way. So NotebookLM is simple. You can create any notebook and you can upload your sources. Here, for example, I'm uploading my research articles. So it can clearly create these types of options. It can create an audio overview, a complete audio for your research article, but it is also useful to create a mind map. Okay, so it can analyze the related concept and create a mind map for your data uploaded. But this is not just for the research purposes. You can use this tool for any task. Okay, literally you can mark your students assessment, you can do anything. And don't worry, if you are uploading images, it can automatically detect content or text from the images as well. Okay, so don't worry, it's a very powerful tool. And now you can see it's automatically created a mind map from my research articles, and you can always work with these options. Okay, so each research topic is related with these different themes. So a very simple way of analyzing your data, very simple and clean way of working with different concepts, and it can create a very simple uh, layout. Okay, so you can always minimize and work with your concepts. This is a very simple tool, but we'll see how we can work with these tools and what are the different benefits. So you can download these pictures and figures. So if you want to create a podcast, you just need to click here and create an audio overview, or you can use this one, deep dive conversation. Okay, so audio overview would be very simple. It will generate some audio based on the content you have uploaded, and I think it is surprisingly accurate in terms of uh, generating the audio file. So what I do, I use this tool for teaching my students most of the time. I create my slides, upload them in NotebookLM, and create an audio. And I upload those audio in my Blackboard site, or the site where the student can access. So it means that they can listen to these concept or the content which I'm sharing while they are traveling or anywhere. So this is the most easiest way of working with the slides or any concept you want to upload. So I'm using this for teaching purposes and the research purposes as well. And that is why I have advanced version of this NotebookLM. And NotebookLM is connected with the Google AI Studio, which is the most powerful AI studio which you can work or you can use to create different apps or different AI agents. Okay. It will take some time. We shall wait for a while, and then it will create an audio file. And once it is done, I will show you the audio file, and then we'll move back to our work. Okay. Just wait for a while. Okay, our audio file is ready. Let's listen.
Global supply chains, right? But they seem, well, increasingly fragile. They're longer, more complex than ever, but mostly the same cost.
Chasing that efficiency.
Yeah.
That efficiency, it creates vulnerabilities.
Exactly. I think pandemics, natural disasters, even political issues, they can just throw a wrench in the works.
Yeah, the consequences are serious. Lost revenue, delivery delays, sometimes it can sink a business. It's kinds of widespread.
So it will create similar sort of podcasts. You can use these podcasts for your research. You can use these for your student work as well. Okay, so this is another tool which you can use for your research purposes. But let's go back to the workflow which we are working on. Step 3. Now we know we have a few tools available, but what is the purpose of these tools and what we are trying to achieve here with these tools? So I just gave you this introduction to these AI tools, and you are familiar with the concept of having any AI tool for research purposes, it means that in nutshell, it can extract information from any research article, any file, PDF file, or so what you need is you need to develop a plan which you can execute on these AI tools, and it will synthesize your literature based on available, data set. So this step, so first we'll try to analyze the PDF files, then extract the themes and different clusters. This is step 2. So upload all the files and try to identify the key areas and key themes in your research, which I've already told you. Gemini and Google Notebook LM can do it for you. Just upload the file and start mind mapping. Okay, it will automatically generate clusters of your key concept based on the keyword co-occurrences. But there are many other methods available, but I will keep things very simple for today. But obviously, we can work on many different methods of developing these clusters. Keyword co-occurrence, centrality, density, uh, the concept mapping. We also call it topping modeling. So there are many different methods available which you can use within AI to identify the key research themes in your research. Again, here you are the one who is going to lead the process rather than AI tools. In most of the cases, for example, we are using bibliometric analysis, which is based on keyword co-occurrences, or any structural topic modeling techniques, which is based on the keyword co-occurrences. Okay. So what this system will do, it will see a keyword and see the possibility of that keyword in other research articles. So once we identify that, we'll map them in one, theme. So this is the theme development. It's a little bit tricky, but I'll try to make it simple for you for today. And we'll just create a few themes from our research, and then we will move on with the concept. So the second step is to extract the key themes, and then we need to work within those themes. Okay, so we can always work within those themes separately. For example, if you have 50 research articles, or maybe 100 research articles, and the system identified 4 different key themes or key clusters of your research, and there are 25 research articles in each theme. And this is where you will use these AI tools for working within each theme separately. Okay, so first identify the theme and then work within the theme. To do that, you need to segregate these research articles into the themes, and then you need to explore the findings and limitations in each themes. Okay, so this is the concept, but don't worry if you don't understand now. We have videos available on our YouTube channel where you can work with these themes and you can understand how we can work within these themes and how we can identify. But I will show you some of these practices. So size space, we use this tool a lot, but there are many other scholarship, illicit, and many other tools are available for working within this. Answer This is also very, very good software, very good tool. Notebook LM, uh, it's also powerful. Okay, but recently I moved to Notebook LM because it gives me all the functionalities of all other tools available here. If I want to do coding, if I want to do like creating tables, extracting information from all this PDF file, Notebook LM is available. And most importantly, it is free to use. So you can have access, everybody have access to Notebook LM if you have Google account. Okay, so these are a few very important consideration. Now, let's go back and see how we can do this in practice. I will take you through some of my work here. For example, there are 49 research articles. Sorry. You can use any of these tools, but I will be giving you demonstration on a NotebookLM quickly. You can use that for your research purposes. So I have uploaded 49 research articles, and mainly I'm not sure because this work was done in the past. So I'm not sure what type of research article they are, but let's try to learn. I will just ask a very simple question. Divide these research article into key themes based on keyword co-occurrence, okay? Because that is the criteria we use or we are familiar with. You can use the content analysis as well, but I will work on keyword co-occurrences only. So I will ask this tool to identify the key themes in my literature. My literature consists of 49 research article uploaded here, and I will ask it to create the key themes based on the keyword co-occurrences, okay? Now, based on your prompt, it will create different themes. Remember, this prompt is very important. If you are giving it keyword co-occurrences, it will identify the keyword co-occurrences and then divide the theme. If you give a different prompt, it will do a different set of key themes, okay? So please be careful when you are writing your prompt. You need to be very careful and you need to be very specific about your methodology, because if you are using and allowing this AI to develop the themes based on its own understanding, you are not sure what method this AI is using, and you cannot report that method in your methodology. Methodology is important. You always need to refer back to the different keywords, okay? So different methods of developing these themes. I have another video on how these key themes or thematic development can be done. And in that video, I have explained different methods of identifying key themes in your research. You can watch that video later on and work on. So these are important themes and the references from where the text is being taken. If you click on this reference, it will automatically show you the source and the content from where this content was taken, okay? So it means that it is not just only showing you different themes which have been created based on the keyword co-occurrences. It named all the themes based on the sense, mainly based on the available content, and AI can make that sense, and also giving you references to all these research articles. Now, if I want to segregate the research articles in theme one, these are all links available. Okay, so I can just click and identify the research article and extract that research article separately. So it have identified these are key themes: early internationalization, high-tech innovation, and specific technologies. This is an extraction of our research article, which we are writing on internationalization of high-tech enterprises. Okay, so these are a few case studies or methodology-based segregation. Then we have role of networks and relationship for internationalization of enterprises, entrepreneurship, and individual factors, the influence of context. So these are very, simple methods of developing themes within your literature, and you can use any tool. Now you can use NotebookLM. You can also use SciSpace, Elicit, or any other tool which help you to work with this. The idea is to divide your literature into different models or different themes. Now, this is where we also have some advanced level topics. We can run uh, latent Dirichlet models, which might not be familiar to you, but those who are working with LLM models, they can work with these type of advanced models. So these AI tools are capable of running any LLM models on this. Yes, Mark?
Or you can take this one. Hello.
Yeah.
Prompt execution with Notebook LM is quite challenging as compared to Claude or ChatGPT.
Notebook LM is not meant for prompts, okay? If you are writing any prompts, you need to work with Google AI Studio or Gemini advanced version, okay? But this is only to extract information from your available data. You need to understand the role of this tool. This tool is not for modeling. This tool is not for running any LLM models. It is just to extract information from your data set. Now, how you do that? For example, if you are writing a complete method and based on that method, you want this data to be segregated, this can be done with LLM or Notebook LM. Now, but your question is detailed prompting. Yes, this feature is not for Notebook LM. It is just based on the content, it will extract the information. And there are some other features. For example, it can create mind map. It can create time series analysis. It can do automatically most of work, which we want to do through some prompts. It can do that. But yes, we need to do Google AI Studio. If you combine, if you are familiar with the Google AI Studio, you can merge Notebook LM with Google AI Studio and you can write any prompt you want here. Okay, the interface is available, but that's challenging, advanced level topic.
Thank you.
Yeah, any other question? Okay, clear? So this is how we develop themes within the research articles. And I think I will just conclude the content here. Obviously, you need to practice this and you can work more about these tools. These are some features which you can apply on Notebook LM. And these features are actually giving you different mind maps. You can click here and your thematic development is already here. You can see, and it's pretty much accurate. Okay. So, and also you can use historic data and you can use different trends also. It is also giving you the events, chronological development of that topic. That is very important idea to list in your research articles. Okay, so these are different features of this Notebook LM which you can use in many different ways. Okay, now let's go back to the topic which we are working here. Now we know how to develop themes. Working within themes is also next step, but you will follow similar strategies. You can develop those tables which I showed you. You can develop on SciSpace. You can also use Notebook LM to develop those tables. Just give them prompt. Okay, so create table based on keywords, names, maybe findings and all this. Okay, so you can create the final, which might be mainly representation of your research, and you can use many different ways. For me, I am a really good graphic designer, so that's why it's never been a problem for me to develop good ideas. But for those who are not familiar with developing different infographics are very important. These are a few tools where you can use text to create infographics. Okay, so napkin.ai is one of the recent development, a very good AI tool which can help you to generate different visuals, okay, from your text. And don't worry if you are not familiar with any of these tools, the videos are available on our YouTube channel and you can use those videos for learning purposes. Okay, now I have just added some text here. Let me see whether it will work. And once you copy your text, it will show you this. Sorry. Okay, this is the interface of napkin.ai. Okay, so you can log in with this website, napkin.ai, paste your content, and just click here, this button, and it will give you different illustrations, different graphical illustrations of your content. Okay. So this was like conceptual framework development. I have different options available. I can choose any one of them. There are many, tons of options available. And most importantly, you can always edit any option and choose it to be presented in your work. Okay. So I use this a lot. Okay. So that is another tool for illustration. If you select one, then you can just, change anything you want and download this based on your requirement and report it in your research. So this is for the visualization part. Obviously, you need to understand the basic concept, the key structure of your research article, and then you can, work with this AI tool. But before we leave, I will give you one more tool, which most of my friends are very much familiar with. And I use this tool a lot in teaching, okay? So most oftenly, we need to prepare slides, okay? Gamma.ai is a tool which can help you to create PowerPoint slides with the help of just one click, okay? You don't need any book, you don't need anything. It's pretty much accurate about everything. For example, you create new and I will generate new. You can obviously paste your own content. Let's say I want to teach today to my students supply chain resilience. It can give you option to generate 8 to 10 cards, mean 10 slides, and generate outline. Will automatically generate outline and give you the key topics with the detail of each topic. If you want to, change any topic, that's fine. Otherwise, you can just continue. And here you can always mention if you want the brief outline, medium or detail. I always use a detailed one, and I can use automatic images, and I can use any one of these themes, for example, this one, and just click on generate, and it will generate the whole content for me. And I'm ready for today's session to teaching my students. Okay, so that's why I'm not technically saving a lot of time, tons of my time in terms of teaching. For those who are teaching, they must use this app, and it's pretty much accurate. Don't worry. If you are not prepared and you are preparing your slide before the class, 5 minutes before the class, it is accurate. Don't worry. You don't need to rethink about it. And this tool is pretty good on handling difficult topics also. I work with many difficult topics with this. And you will see this gamma.ai in action in tomorrow's keynote speech as well. Okay, my presentation is done. I can just go to present. Make it spotlight, full screen. You can add animation to these slides, okay? And you can always export them in PowerPoint slides as well. Okay? This is a very simple way of creating PowerPoint slides for my students. Okay, so that's it. Let's just conclude today's session on writing systematic literature reviews using four-step formula. But at the conclusion, please remember we need to follow this four-step method whenever we are writing research. We need to start with the conceptualization, data extraction. If you are writing a quantitative research or qualitative research, this data extraction might be changed to data collection. Then you need to analyze or synthesize the literature, and then you need to review and report your research article. This is a four-step, very simple formula for writing any research. But today we discussed this for writing a systematic literature review article. I can share with you the template we have created for writing a systematic literature review. You just follow that template, and I'm pretty much confident that your research article will be published in good research journals if you follow that template. Okay, thank you very much, and I'm open for any questions now.
Thank you so much, Dr. Imran Qureshi. Alhamdulillah, we are done with our first workshop for today, Writing Advanced AI-Powered Systematic Literature Review. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause once again to Dr. IQ. Okay, he shared a lot of tips and tricks, very informative sharing, I would say. Some takeaway tips for our research. Always remember that we can refine research questions by using Gemini, ChatGPT, and Copilot. For data extraction, we can use filter and remove irrelevant items. Use Prisma. For the literature synthesis, we can use AI tools such as SciSpace, Elicit, Julius, NotebookLM, and many more that Dr. Imran shared for us today. So I hope you guys jot down all the AI tools, and let's try at our workspace later on.